Live.
Okay.
Hello, YouTube. This is the High Rise Elevator Love, and we're just going to have some fun today. So, I don't know. Let's just start talking about whatever. Anyway.
Well,
Mhm. Got News Graphics Elevator here with me today.
hello.
And first, I want to talk about I'm going to be hopefully sometime in the future at some point. I don't know exactly when yet. Be revisiting one of my favorite haunts that you've probably seen too many videos of anyway. This downtown Charlotte area. Be doing a few retakes of places I've been to before. But I don't know exactly when that will happen, but look out for it because it might be a possibility. And
And I will probably be there.
yes, he might be. He probably will be there.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. But the weather has certainly been interesting last weekend. You know, if you know anyone from the state of South Carolina, it's pretty brutal. You know, there's the capital city of Columbia. I believe it's centrally located somewhere. Um, but the roads were flooded. They're under water advisories, under a state of emergency. Then there's 70 miles of the I-95 corridor that aren't functioning.
The I-95 has mostly been reopened. We're still, let's see, there are 11 counties under a federal disaster declaration. And the county that the capital city is in, it's Columbia. Richland County is one of those. So there are 400 roads and bridges closed in the state.
That is just brilliant. 400 roads and bridges. That's going to be a really quick recovery right there, especially since some of those roads just happen to be washed away at the moment.
Totally washed away. It's going to take. They're estimating this could cost $1 billion.
Well, what government project doesn't cost $1 billion, except
Yeah,
for the
that's
ones that
pretty
cost
cheap.
$1 trillion?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap compared to some.
Yes. If you want to talk about government projects in the grand scheme of things, unfortunately, $1 billion is actually pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap compared to that little tower in New York City they just built.
Yeah, the One World Trade Center, which, by the way, is technically not the tallest building in the United States, even no
True.
matter what people will say. You have a 500-foot spire, and the roof line is still lower than that of Willis Tower. So take that, New Yorkers.
Take that, yeah, New York.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ever get it back.
I mean, the roof heights of the older buildings, although the spire heights weren't as impressive, the roof heights were much more dignified. And
True.
you built back one of them
One
to
of
a
them.
lesser status. It's pretty weak. But yeah. Yeah, but seriously,
Mm.
um, yes, I don't know how much that building cost, but it took about 16 years to finally get the plans done and for them to build it.
Yep. That's about the speed, right at the speed of government.
Welcome to the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, the most collaborative and easygoing and competent government agency that's ever built a building in the world. Look at the Empire State Building, built in just
In
over a
11
year.
months.
Yeah, 11 months basically, just over a year. And it is still one of the tallest buildings in the country today. Not one of the tallest in the world by any means. Just down the list a bit, but
Right.
heck, it was built in 1930, and it's still one of the most impressive buildings in New York City. And it took, oh my gosh, the only buildings you can build in that amount of time today are like restaurants,
Right.
ground floor restaurants.
Even though, well, only in some places. In a place like California, where the regulations take years, pretty much.
Oh
No, I
my
don't think you
gosh.
would be able to build one that
I would
fast.
shudder to think how long it would take to build the Empire State Building in San Francisco. Give me about 20 years to think about it, and then I'll have the design plans ready.
And then, no, you have got to do another 30, 40 for the environmental impact statement.
I could always just bribe a few politicians. Remember, it is California.
That works too.
Yeah.
Although you can't bribe as many politicians as you can in California, even New York, than you can in DeKalb County, Georgia. You would be shocked. There was a report that just came out and called it just you wouldn't believe how corrupt it is.
Oh my
Literally,
gosh.
from what I've heard, it's worse than New York. I mean,
I bet
well,
it's not as bad as DC.
you've got the CEO of the county shaking down campaign vendors for campaign contributions, and you have numerous other leaders of that county that are just very corrupt, and it's really a shame.
Yeah. Well, it says a lot about our government in general.
Yes, it does.
Our national government's along the lines. Anyone who can pay to play basically can buy policies.
True.
So
DeKalb is the most liberal county in the state of Georgia, by the way.
Yes, to all of our liberal viewers, we apologize, but you'll just have to live with that.
Yep. We have to live with you, so
But anyway,
yeah.
yeah, but seriously, I
You both,
guess
I should
whoever
say.
has the most money in this country can buy their way into any politician, except for maybe people like Ted Cruz or some other politicians who actually have some morals about themselves and don't just care about their reelection. Let's see, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton. Do those names ring a bell with anyone? Hillary Clinton especially. Oh my gosh, don't even get
Oh
me
wow.
started.
The Clintons in general.
Seeing as this is an elevator chat, we probably should get off the
Yeah,
subject of
let's stop talking
politics
about
for now.
politics.
And let's talk about the elevators. Actually, I might talk about that right now. Let's talk about New York City because I really hoping to go back there, and I've have some insight. I'm not going to give away any information about my plans for going into New York City, but I will say that I am confident that I will be able to make those plans come into fruition. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm not going to give out any information. Just tell you a general path of places I might end up going to. And you'll notice a lot of these places are not on my channel yet. One World Trade Center was opened after my last trip to New York City. And then there's a hotel that I was actually open when I was there last time, but I didn't even know existed, much less the location of it. I wish I had because I would have gone to it. But I don't know if I could have gotten people I was with at the time to do that because they were there for different reasons. But so the way I would hope to do is to go into New York Penn Station, take the E train down to World Trade Center, do One World Trade Center, Millennium Hilton, the two main attractions down there, bus up to the Empire State Building, do that. Of course, I'll be doing all three observation decks in one day, but then, of course, Rockefeller Center. Then Rockefeller Center from there is where my course will start diverging a little bit. I will do standard hotels that I would normally do, with a few added tweaks to that. I plan to do the Hilton at the Midtown Hilton at 6th Avenue and 53rd Street. And then also, of course, I'll be doing retakes of a lot of the hotels that are on my channel, like Sheraton, Crown Plaza, Marriott Marquis, maybe even the Westin, maybe the DoubleTree. I'm not sure if I can get in there or not, but definitely try it too. But the other new main hotel attraction, there's actually two more. Another one is the tallest hotel in New York City now, the Courtyard by Marriott, residence and 65 floors. Unfortunately, is key carded, but since when do I let keycard readers get in my way nowadays? I mean, look at my Westin videos. You can see how keycards work in a big city where you have traffic going on and off the elevators all the time. And if that theory works, I should be able to get in and get up there without much of an issue. I just won't be able to get up there whenever I want. I'll be dependent on traffic. But in other news, yeah.
We should probably mention, going back to the keycard issue, we should let some other people know about our possible theory about key cards.
Well, there's your possible theory. It hasn't even been tested yet, but
no, this is according to a Hotel Insider. It was on an article on a website called like Smarter Travel, and it mentioned 8 secrets that hotel managers don't want you to know, and one of them was the key cards. They'll still work in the elevators after you check out. So
now, again, I haven't tested this theory. My friend here hasn't tested this theory. And for the hotels I'm talking about, that would be a very expensive theory to test.
Very.
Let's see, 300 for 2 people to spend one night at the Westin at certain times. It's about $324 after tax. So, that's a really cheap hotel price. I know people would be laughing at me if I said that and actually meant it. So, yes, it's expensive as all get out. Then the other hotels are thinking of $200 a night. That's much better.
It's better, and even the Omni is last time I checked was less than 200.
Shame you didn't get to keep your key for that. There's some Buckhead hotels that make the Westin look cheap. Oh my gosh, there's some of those $500-$600 a night.
Yes, like the St. Regis, for example.
Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton. Then the Mandarin Oriental.
Oh my God!
They have condos on the top of it too. And
the Mandarin Oriental in New York brings up another point. I would go. I would think about going to a hotel if two reasons. One, it's if it weren't so far out of my way, and two, if it was a little taller, because the fact that it's segmented by a sky lobby makes it a little bit less attractive. It's still 53. You can get up to 36 without a hitch because you take the sky lobby shuttle elevators, but then the rest might be key card. It's only they segment instead of a 54 floor shoot, you're more like into the 30s and 20s. But yeah, but then I don't even know where it is, so it could be pretty far out of my way too. And if
What
it's,
about the Millennium Hilton?
I told you I was already going to that. That's 55
Okay.
and unkey carded.
All right.
Otis elevators from about the 90s, maybe late 80s, early 90s. They're not touch sensitive. They're Series 1 though, and there's, according to my insider source in New York City, in the surrounding area, my insider source has informed me that the 55 button does not have Braille on it. The others do, so it makes it difficult to find sometimes. Well, it would be for me, but I'd probably end up finding it anyway now that I know it exists. But yeah, the other hotels I would do after the Residence Inn, hitchhiking is always an alternative if you don't have the money to spend a night at the hotel and keep the key card for later use. But hitchhiking, you wait for someone to get into the elevator with you, and you stand by the card reader. Once they do their card, you hit your floor as well as theirs. Or if you think you might have suspicious hotel guests, you walk in the elevator behind them and just tell them your floor, and then they'll think you're a guest there. So that's another thing that you can do. But the other hotel I was thinking about going to that I haven't been to is taking a nip over on the 7th train to Grand Central or the Times Square shuttle, depending on where I am at the time I do this, and going to the Waldorf Astoria, which is in the 40s. It's respectable. And there's this building that my friend and I have talked about that has conflicting possibilities. It would be a great one to get into. The cab fixtures have been modernized, but they're 35-floor cage elevators. And it's around 51st Street in Park or Lexington. It might be Lexington. It might be Park, but it's in that general Grand Central area. So it's out there a little bit. You could probably take the Lexington Avenue subway up to it. That's probably what I would end up doing anyways. Take the Lexington Avenue subway up a stop to 51st Street. But
probably the 6 train.
Yeah, or the 4 or 5. Whichever one has automated announcements.
6 is local and has automated announcements.
Yeah, because, my source was saying it may or may not. It might. Some of them do, and some of them don't, I think is what he said on the 6. Of course, he has experience. He goes into New York a couple times, like every couple months or so he goes into New York. So he's actually been several times in the past month. He has a lot of experience in that area. But anyway, he said that on the weekends, see, I would go into New York probably on a weekday, just because weekends are very appealing. Those will probably be the times I'll be traveling to and from the area. But he said on weekends the security guard's in the lobby, but on the weekdays he said they're out on the street. But I don't know if he's only had, I think, 1 or 2 observations of that place, so I don't think we can actually confirm or deny really anything about it. But if there was any way to get into those elevators, that would be a unique find that no one else has gotten to yet, because the cabs, even though the fixtures aren't historic, the cabs would be 35-floor cage elevators. And yeah, it'd probably be interesting to find.
Do you have any other information about that building? Because
I have no other information about that building, just its approximate location and approximate security status. Again, unconfirmed.
Okay.
Because there's been minimal observation. He only discovered it like a couple times ago when he was in New York. But we have minimal observation on that location. But Grand Central, I've never been through Grand Central Terminal. Again, this also might be a place where I go charge my phone, because I'll be filming a lot. And I hope to get one of these, I think they're called Mophie devices, where it increases your battery. Now, the others on the site that are the cheaper models that don't have storage enabled, they just increase your battery. But this one doesn't say anything about the battery, but how much, but it says it increases your battery, but then it gives you the storage options. But it should at least increase it by 120%, because that's what the one before it does. So for iPhone, you get one of those. I plan to get the 32 gig model, which increased my storage to about a 40-something gig device, which would be very, very useful. As far as filming goes, it would give me several hours worth of filming, and that's something I could definitely use. That's the one thing I lack, is filming space. And that extra gigabytes of space would really, really be useful. So let's see, what else was I thinking? That was really my main thing.
Okay.
Thinking about the good old places. Anything to add?
Well, just that you might want to stay tuned for some familiar locations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for some familiar locations. Well,
for some retakes.
Retakes. Of course, some of my videos of those were actually lost, so they're never uploaded. This will probably just be retakes. All right, so for the high-res elevator lover and news graphics elevator, that's it for now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.